guys, and it's 9 p.m. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our Lunch Actually Weekly webinar. I'm super excited to see some familiar faces from last week as well as the many weeks before. And that makes us really, really happy because, we really thank you for supporting us every single week. And, it definitely encourages us that you come back week after week and, check out our exciting new topics as well. So if you are not already in our mailing list, do make sure you're on our mailing list so that you can keep up to date on our future webinars. So those of you who are here for the first time, a very warm welcome to you and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I promise you that you're going to have a lot of fun and you'll learn some great tips tonight. And those of you who have been joining us regularly on our weekly webinars, you know that we love interacting with all of you, and the topics that we discuss here at our weekly webinars every week are actually results of your feedback. So please do continue to participate throughout tonight's session by typing in the chat box, like those of you who have been, if you have not, please continue to do so. And of course, ask us any questions that you might have in the Q&A box. And I see that some of you have already started doing that, typing in your questions in the Q&A box. That's awesome. And of course, do remember to stay till the very end of the webinar because as always, we always have something special, a special surprise for all of you who are spending your time with us tonight. Okay, so before we start, we always like to do a quick poll to just welcome our newbies as well. So I'm just going to launch our poll very quickly to find out how many of you are actually here for the first time and how many of you are actually maybe some of our fans who have attended a lot of our webinars. So I'm going to launch the poll right now. You should see it right in front of you. Okay, so let us know. Are you a newbie or have you been here for 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or maybe 10 times or more? Okay, I see a lot of you are voting right now. Thanks for that. That's super awesome. Yep, so more than 50% of the room have already voted. So if you have not, this is the time to do so. I'm going to keep the poll open for a couple more seconds and then I'm going to close the poll. So we already have more than 70% who have voted. So okay, let's keep them coming. Okay, let's see if we can get maybe about 80% of the room to vote. Yes, if you have not voted, please do so. Like I say, it's really fun, it's engaging. Like, please do participate. Okay, so just maybe about 2 more seconds and I'm going to close the poll. Okay, so ending the poll right now. So we have about 40% of the room who is here for the first time. So a big welcome to you. And we do have quite a number of you as well. So about 28% who have attended 2 or 3 of our webinars. That's awesome. And we actually have some who have attended more than 10 of our webinars. Those are our diehard fans, like we really treasure and value you. Thank you for, loving us so much, for coming back week after week. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you very quickly. Yep, so there you are. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. So for the first timers, since there are 40% of the room right now are actually people who have joined us for the first time, I would like to quickly introduce myself. So you know who is the person who is talking to you right now. So my name is Violet and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch Actually Group. So I have been doing this for the last 16 years. I'm also a very proud wife and mother of 2 as well. So if you're interested to know, what I do when I'm not matchmaking, you can follow me on Instagram at Violet Lim, and you can also add me on Facebook as well at Asia Love Guru. So very quickly, we also want to share with you a bit more about our company and what we have been doing. So Lunch actually was started by my then boyfriend, now husband, Jamie, about 16 years ago, and currently we are in 5 different locations: Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. So I'm sure there are some of you who are from all of these countries as well. So maybe you want to shout out to us if you're from one of these locations. Welcome tonight. And we have many different products, like we have offline, online, and we have a app as well. So our philosophy is very much, like we want to help singles to be the right one, meet the right one, and choose the right one. So I believe that, we are now all very familiar with dating apps and a lot of different dating platforms out there. So most of the platforms out there are now focused on helping singles meet the right one. But we realize that meeting is just one part of it. In order to help our singles succeed, it's very important to also be the right one and also choose the right one. And that's also the reason why we have been running this series of weekly webinars to help our singles to be the best version of themselves. Yeah, next slide, please. Yep. So we have matchmaking services. We also have date coaching services, and of course, like we have image coaching services as well. And I also want to let you know that we have recently launched the Lunch Actually app. So if you have not downloaded it, you can check it out in the app stores. So right now it's still in its beta, like where you can book an appointment with us or have a chat with our consultant or coach. However, we are looking to expand this further, and in future, our members can actually use the app to look at their matches, to choose their matches, as well as in future maybe even have video dates on the app itself. So tonight's webinar is really special, especially for me, because like after doing more than 15 webinar, I think if I'm not wrong, today is our 16th webinar, and this is the first time ever that we are going to be sharing our secret sauce, like our secret recipe with you on actually how we match. So I'm sure a lot of you are curious, right? That's why you're here tonight with us. So what is the secret that makes two people who seem to be two complete strangers, and how do we put them together? How do we know that they are the right match? How do we know that they are compatible? So are you excited to find out more? If you are, type yes right now in the chat box. So let's see how many of us tonight would like to learn more about being a matchmaker. Yeah, I see William, Kenson, Aaron, Amresh, Jesper, Ramesh, Winston, Rachel, Shirley. Yes, thanks guys. So, like I can really sense your excitement there to find out, like how we actually do our matches. So, like I can sense that tonight's energy is really off the roof. Awesome, guys. So before we get started, of course, I must introduce to you the two lovely ladies in the room. So in fact, one of our participants today said, wow, Geraldine really looks like a Korean actress. I totally agree. So let me welcome my two lovely colleagues and panelists for tonight, Geraldine and Jessie. Please give them a round of applause and please type welcome, in the chat right now. So two of them are actually new to our webinar. So you probably have not met them in our webinar before. So I think they are probably feeling a little bit nervous right now. So please give them the lunch actually welcome. Yes, I see Andrew, I see BCA, I see Skywalker, Hadrono, Casca. Awesome. Okay, so Geraldine, I think with all the awesome applause and welcome you have seen from our participants tonight, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Geraldine. I'm a matchmaker here at Lunch actually, and I'm actually very excited to be here tonight. I've been working with singles for about 1.5 years and have quite a few successful matches so far. I genuinely enjoy helping people, and it brings me joy when I see that they have found happiness and success in their dating life. So maybe I can share with you one memorable story, which is actually one of my first success couples. The lady actually had a long fixed set of criteria she was looking for in a partner. After her very first date with a gentleman from Lunch actually, she was actually very positive about the date as she felt that he had a lot of traits she was actually looking for, but she was still picking at certain minor aspects like his body was slimmer than she preferred, he was less outspoken and less alpha male than she would prefer. So we sent her on a few other dates, but after a while she realized that these minor factors she was looking at was not very important in the long run, and they shared very, very similar values and lifestyles, and he treated her better than any of her previous dates or partners had. She was honestly very moved by his sincerity, and she decided to take a chance with the very first date she went on and entered a relationship with him. Happy to say that they are still happily together.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Geraldine, for sharing that story, and thanks for joining us tonight. So for some of you who are calling in from Singapore, you might have spoken with Geraldine, or you have even met her before. And like I say, like this is Geraldine's first webinar, and of course, I'm sure all of you can't wait to hear her sharing soon. And of course, other than Geraldine, tonight we also have Jessie with us. So Jessie is our matchmaker from our Malaysia office. So those of you who are from Malaysia, please shout out to Jessie right now by typing Malaysia in the chat box. So we know that we have some like our homies from Malaysia. Yay! We see Faith, we see Zoe, and we see Annie who says Malaysia Boleh. Yeah, so we can see that we have a lot of participants from Malaysia tonight as well. So Jessie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sorry, I'm Jessie. I've been working with Lunch actually for more than 6 years, and the reason why I'm still working in Lunch actually is because I find so much happiness and passion when I help two singles to find each other. So especially when they call and share with you the stories that they actually found the right one, and can find the happiness and joy with them. So that's something that makes me really happy when you actually see them getting together. So one of my memorable stories is that there's this guy. He's one of the sweetest and nicest gentlemen ever. But unfortunately, he is not able to find chemistry and connection on the dates that he's been with until the sixth date when he actually found someone that he could connect with. So happened this girl was their first date in house. So when he met this girl, the girl was very happy to have met him, and the next day she called me to tell me to put her membership on hold because she wants to actually focus on this guy. So I was very happy for both of them. And after that, 3 weeks later, when I called them, they actually told me that dating exclusively already. So they were together until now. Lah. So they've been sharing some
Wow.
pictures as well. Yeah.
Thanks, Jessie, for sharing that. And I think from that story, we learned that it's important to never give up and, like really persevere. And we can see that because the guy has been doing that, even though initially he didn't have success, like after, keep persevering. And of course, us, giving him suitable matches as well, and like, for example, for the lady, it was actually her first date. So, very happy to hear that they are now dating exclusively. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm sure, like I say, all of you have been waiting to hear about how our matchmakers find the one best match for each of our clients. So tonight's webinar is going to be a bit different from the usual ones that you have been attending so far. And for those of you who are attending for the first time, like you are in for a treat because, tonight is going to be really fun and interactive. And we are going to be doing an activity here, okay? So this activity tonight is all of you can also try your hands at matchmaking, okay? So who wants to be a matchmaker tonight with us? Type me, okay? So type me right now in the chat box. So we know that you actually want to, yeah. So we have Lil, we have Makina, we have Cindy, we have Pui, Sunny. Wow, a lot of people wants to be matchmaker tonight. Awesome. So, you are going to have fun with us together. Okay, so the matchmaking challenge tonight is actually quite simple. It's 3 steps, okay? So I'm just going to share the steps with you. First and foremost, Geraldine and Jessie will be sharing 2 profiles of singles. Okay, so to be fair, we're going to be sharing 1 lady and 1 guy. Okay, so the guy's name is Peter and the lady's name is Amy. Okay, and for each of this profile, the second step is we'll be presenting 3 possible matches. Okay, so we'll be sharing details of these 3 possible matches for each of these candidate. And the third step, so that's where you come in. Okay, you are going to let us know which one do you think would be the best match for Peter and Amy. Okay, so is that simple? Do you get how this matchmaking challenge works? Okay, if you do, okay, say yes. Okay. Yeah, Hess say yes, Alice, yes. Okay, so I think all of you are ready, right? Okay, so let's not keep our participants waiting. Okay, so Geraldine, I trust that you have our first profile to share with our participants tonight, and I trust that you're going to talk about Peter.
Okay, thank you, Violet. So let me share with you the profile of my client, Peter. Not to worry, it's not his real name, and we will not be disclosing any personal information because we do keep all our clients' details confidential. Peter is in his late 30s. He's 178 cm tall, Chinese Singaporean, and a managing director in an education industry. He holds a bachelor degree and he's a Christian. So Peter is down to earth. He's confident with his achievements. He enjoys stimulating conversation. Although he has a successful career and a high income, he actually enjoys the simpler things in life and he really likes children. His hobbies include spending time with his family, watching Netflix, volunteering, and doing community service, and he's a foodie as well. He's looking for an attractive lady who's petite and also a Christian, and he's open to ladies up to mid-30s and flexible about their education level and ethnicity as well. So over to you, Jessie, to share more about the matches that we have.
Wow, Peter sounds like a great catch.
I think Jessie is having a bit of a technical difficulty over there. So we have, from our audience, we hear Liz say, wow, he looks good. And Skywalker say, yes, indeed. Like Peter sounds like a great catch. Yeah, so just to emphasize again, like what Geraldine has just shared, that, it is not really his name because like we say, we do not disclose our client's name. And this photo is for file purposes only. Okay, so this is not how Peter looks like. Okay, so Jessie, over to you to share with us the matches that we actually have for Peter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wow, Peter sounds like a great catch. Okay, from here we actually have 3 possible matches for Peter. So let me share the first profile. Melissa, she's a 32-year-old teacher. She's a Singaporean Chinese, and she's a Christian as well. She is 157 cm tall, and she's slim. She's rather a simple girl and not really picky or fussy about her appearance or the things she owns. She's independent and understanding. She enjoys spending time at home and cooking, and she also enjoys going to the museum and traveling.
Okay, thank you, Jessie. Now let's listen to potential match number 2, okay? So next we have Maddie. She's 35 and she's a hedge fund manager. She's also slim built and 160 cm tall. She's well traveled and successful in her career, and she's also a Christian. We profile her as independent, someone who likes to try new things and adventurous. Her hobbies include traveling, dining out, and going to the gym.
And I have a third potential match for Peter right here. Christine, she's 28 years old, senior marketing executive and a staunch Christian. She is standing at 160 cm with a petite body type. She's smart, confident, articulate, and detail-oriented. We profile her as a more conservative and serious, and she enjoys serving at church, playing the piano, hanging out with friends, and watching shows on TV.
Okay, wow, thank you, Geraldine and Jessie, for sharing these 3 amazing matches. So what do you guys think so far? You know, do you already have a favorite? You know, so let us know. Do you have a favorite? So Belle say number 1, Jonathan say number 3, you know, like has say 2, 1, 3. It also seems like there's quite a mix of results, you know, from our participants right here. Okay, so hearing these 3 possible matches, you know, I do have a good inclination of who would make a good first match for Peter, you know, the best match for Peter, but maybe because I've been doing this for the last 16 years. So, you know, like over to you, our aspiring matchmakers, you know, who do you think would make the best match for Peter? So, yes, I think someone asked, can we see all the matches again? Yes, you can see it right on your screen here. You know, our Christina, you know, I think those of you who have been attending our webinars, you know Christina, she's our head of PR and communications. You know, she has done a great job presenting to you, you know, all on one screen, all of these potential matches. Okay, so we have Melissa, 32 years old, teacher, Christian, hobby and interest, cooking and traveling. And then we have Maddie, who's 35 years old, hedge fund manager, who's also a Christian, hobby, interest, gym and traveling. And of course, we have Christine, who is the youngest of the lot, 28 years old, senior executive, also a Christian. She enjoys serving in church, playing piano, and watching TV. Okay, so I think, you know, all of you are good. You know, any questions so far about the matches? You know, if you have any clarifications, maybe you can ask, you know, and our matchmakers can also give some clarifications if you have any. Okay, so if not, I'm going to start the poll now so that you can share or choose. Okay, so I'm going to launch the poll right now. Who would be the best match for Peter? Okay, so you can actually put in your answer right now. Okay, you should see it right in front of you. Okay, who would be the best match for Peter? Okay, we see the votes coming in. Wow, okay, it's very close between 2 candidates, okay? Very close between 2. I think that's one that is kind of way behind. Okay, more than 70% have voted so far. Let's see, okay, how this is going to work out. Okay, let's try and give everybody a chance to vote, okay? Already 74%. Okay, like let's see if you can get to 80%. Okay, this is your chance to be a matchmaker. So let's participate. 1, 2, or 3. Is it going to be Melissa, Maddie, or Christine? Okay, so close to 80%. I'm going to close it in 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll right now. And ding, ding, ding. Okay, I'm going to show the results. Okay, like you can see, I said that there's 2 that is very, very close. So, you know, like Melissa at 39%. And Christine at 47%. Okay, very interesting. Good job, guys, you know, for participating. Like I say, this is interactive, this is fun, and you know, like we love it when you participate. So those of you who have chosen Melissa, right? Okay, tell us why. Why did you choose Melissa? Yeah, so let's see. Those of you who were rooting for Melissa, why do you choose Melissa? Nobody have typed anything out yet. Oh, okay. Kok Hui say down to earth. William say I put myself on Peter's shoes. Okay, and then pretty simple girl with simple guy. That's what Pat say. JY say both are in teaching. Bell say Melissa is a teacher. Ed say nice girl next door. Ether say she is a teacher. Okay. Rodney say match needs to be opposite. Contrast attracts. Raymond say age is closer gap. Simpler in characteristics. Can support Peter. BCA say join Peter in new activity together. Okay, awesome. So all the supporters for Melissa, thanks for giving your ideas and the reasons why you have chosen Melissa. Okay, what about Christine? Okay, so actually Christine is the one that got the highest votes among our participants for tonight. Okay, so we have Aaron who say Peter prefer 20s, CHC. Okay, wow, the answers are coming in like fast and furious. I'm just trying to read all your answers. Family oriented, similar interests, serving church, serving community is a rare common interest, will make a good first date. Serve in church, watch Netflix. Benny says she's God-fearing. Okay, wow, a lot of awesome answers. You know, thanks guys for participating. Okay, so now over to our matchmakers, you know, Geraldine and Jessie, to review, you know, like who you guys would actually choose for the match for Peter and why. So over to you, Geraldine.
Thank you, Violet, and thank you guys for all your input. So as a matchmaker, this is what we do on a daily basis, and a matchmaker at lunch actually probably does thousands of matches every month. So now I'm going to share with you who we think is actually Peter's best match, and the answer is Melissa. So firstly, yeah, so those of you who guessed Melissa, so that's great. So firstly, what we like to do is to really take into account Peter's very basic profile and his criteria, which is things like his age, ethnicity, education, and religion. So Peter is actually very flexible about ethnicity and education because they're not the most important things for him, but he does have preferences about his match's age and most importantly, religion. So we have to do basic filtering through our customer relationship management system called Central. And that's why we presented the three ladies that are already within Peter's basic profile criteria in terms of age range, ethnicity, body type, and religion. Actually, based on our experience, Peter's preferences are really quite open and flexible. And that's great as a matchmaker because that means that the pool of potential matches are bigger for us to choose from. Some men do come to us with a strict set of criteria. The most common are ladies have to be significantly younger than them, pretty, slim, with long hair. Some may have preferences about their job occupation, industry, and education level as well. So what we really try to do is open up their criteria as much as possible and also understand the real reason behind those criteria. Like, will a lady with long hair make her a better partner or wife? Or do you not want a lady with a certain job or industry because of a perception that may not be true? So for us, because our job is to actually help them find the most compatible match for a long-term relationship, we try our best to also dig deeper and adjust their mindset because nobody is going to be 100% perfect. So, okay, back to Peter. After filtering based on these basic preferences, things are more complex and not so straightforward because we will take into consideration his personality, lifestyle, and values to really narrow down the match. Even though Peter is very successful and accomplished, he doesn't really put a lot of emphasis on material things. Family is actually very, very important to him. So this is a value that his match also has to share. Maddie may make an okay match, but not the best match for Peter because she's more adventurous, worldly type of lady. Her values is more westernized due to her lifestyle and her career. So at this moment, starting a family or having children may not be Maddie's priority. When we are matching, we also make sure that they're in the same life stage. And that's the reason when a couple meets through us, once they become an exclusive couple, the chances of them ending up getting married is very high. So for Maddie, even though she's very successful, it's not what Peter is looking for because they're not at the same life stage.
Yes, and even for Christine, even though they have much things in common, the way they like doing community service, we don't think that she has the best match because she comes across as being too serious and too rigid. So what we do as a matchmaker when we do matching is we do ask questions to each of the singles to know more what motivates them and what's important to them. So Peter being a Christian, he also wants someone who's a Christian as well. But after speaking to him, we found out he's a more liberal Christian and he doesn't really go to church. So having a Christian partner is important for his family, and therefore if the lady is a Christian, it doesn't matter whether she goes to church or if she's active in the church community. So there's another reason why Christy may not be the best match for him, because she's a staunch and practicing Christian who spends a lot of free time at church and also doing church-related activities. So looking at Peter's profile and values, he's actually looking for someone more simple and homely, someone who's close to family, and also in turn get along with his family. And that's why Melissa would be the more compatible match for Peter.
Thank you so much, Jessie. Thank you so much, Geraldine. And yes, I agree. Melissa would actually make the best match because we are actually looking at compatibility in values rather than just hobbies and interests. So I can see just now, like a lot of the reasons that have been given by our participants tonight is about because they have similar interests and hobbies. So not that that's not important, but ultimately we feel that interests and hobbies is something that they can cultivate together. But ultimately it's really about common values. So, in Peter's case, we know that he really values family and he's looking for a future wife. So I think that's where Geraldine has also shared that for Maddie, yes, she's very adventurous. They probably would have a great first date together, but right now she might not be looking to settle down and they're probably not in the same stage in their life. So occupation or income is not so important for him because he's confident with his own accomplishment, and he has also shared with us that he's willing to support his partner as well. So this was something that we got to know more from Peter during the profiling, and I think that's also the reason the session of profiling is so important for both our consultants and clients. So aside from getting to know the client's preferences, a very important thing is that we also find out how flexible or not flexible they are when it comes to these criteria. So for Peter, although he may have initial preferences about his match's occupation or income, he actually told us that those are good to have, but not the most important thing to him. And that's how we got to know that finances or a high-flying career is not the most important thing for him. The personal relationship that we actually have with each and every of our client is extremely valuable when we are doing the matching, because we are looking beyond what's stated on the paper, but really getting to know the person as well. So for those of you who answered Melissa, so well done. And for the rest, not to worry if you did not get the right answer this time, because you have another chance to see whether you can choose the best match for our next singer. So Jessie, I believe you have the second profile for us, for Amy.
Yeah, certainly. So our next profile is Amy. Again, it's not her real name to protect her privacy and confidentiality. So Amy is a Chinese Malaysian. She is in her late 30s. She's the head of sales and marketing in a big company. She was born in Malaysia but grew up in Belgium, and she spent many years working overseas before coming back to Malaysia. She's a very smart, successful woman, independent and high flyer. She's looking for a man whom she can respect, who's friendly and also smart, driven, and independent. Someone who's honest with good character and passionate about life. So she's open to meeting gentlemen from any race and age group. Her hobbies would include reading, finding new places to eat, traveling, watching movies, and arts. So now let's look at 3 possible matches for Amy. So Geraldine, do you have the first match?
Yes. Actually, Amy is a very good profile, and I'm very excited to find her a match. So let's hear the first match, okay? So Ben is a Caucasian. He is in his late 30s and head of sales in the banking industry. He has a master's degree from an Ivy League university, and very similar to Amy, he also grew up and worked overseas in Europe for many years. Because of his experience and background, he speaks multiple languages and he's very charming and smart. Ben is also sophisticated, stylish, and knows how to present himself well. He likes socializing with his friends, going to the beach, reading, talking about politics, and planning the next move for his business. Actually, I have met this particular Ben in person, and I do find him to be quite good looking as well.
Wow, Ben sounds amazing. Now I have another potential match that I'm excited about. So Ron is an Indian in his mid-40s who is a business coach in his own company. He's also a vegan. So Ron used to live in the UK before moving back to Malaysia. He is a warm-hearted and humorous guy who's smart and speaks very well. So he enjoys fitness and healthy living, and during his free time, he likes hiking and going to the gym. He also appreciates art and likes to check out the latest art exhibition in town.
That's another great profile, Jessie. But okay, we have one more potential match to share before we let our viewers vote. My third match is also an amazing profile. This is Leo. Leo is in his late 40s. He's Chinese, graduated with a degree, and he's a product specialist. He has a slightly bigger body type, but he's confident about himself. He's also a very warm and humorous guy who used to travel a lot for work. On the traditional versus modern scale, his personality is more on the conservative side. His hobbies and interests include wine, going to the gym, hanging out with his friends. He occasionally also likes to cook.
Okay, thank you, ladies, for presenting Amy as well as the three potential matches for Amy. So I think, Annie here brought up a very good point. She says she has already forgotten what is Amy's profile. So Chris, maybe you can help us by just flashing out Amy's profile again. Yes, that's awesome. So just to remind everybody, this is Amy. Okay, she's in her late 30s. She's a head of sales and marketing, Chinese Malaysian, smart, successful, highly educated, like a lot of the lady clients that we see. She loves reading, she loves art, she loves food, and her criteria, she says she's looking for someone whom she can respect, someone who's funny, someone who's smart, someone who's driven and independent as well. Okay, so I think like now we have reminded you about who Amy is. Now we're going to flesh out the summary of the three guys as well. So I think, our matchmakers tonight, they have actually given us three very interesting matches, I would say, for Amy. So, we have Ben, who's in his 30s, who's a Caucasian, head of sales in a bank. We have Ron, who's 40s, who's a business coach, very into arts and gym, healthy living as well. And of course, we have Leo, who's also in his 40s, who's a product specialist, and he loves hanging out and having wine. So right now, we have our participants who is having a bit of a challenge now. So I think some of you are saying oh no, this one is much harder. Okay, so give you guys some time to think about it. Okay, do you have an answer in mind right now? Okay, so okay, I'm going to launch the poll, okay, for you to have your second opportunity to become a matchmaker. Okay, launching the poll now. Some of you say, so hard. No, I can't choose. Okay, so now you guys understand the dilemma sometimes our matchmakers go through. Okay, I've launched the poll. So please share with us. Who do you think is the best match for Amy? Aaron say flip the coin. No, we don't flip the coin. Okay, so answers coming in fast and furious. More than 60% have voted, and then we have a clear runner up. I mean, clear winner so far from what you guys are choosing. Okay, so more than 70% have voted. Okay, let's see if we can get it up to 80. I know it's not easy. A lot of you guys are saying that it's very hard, but yes, we have to make a choice. So what's your decision tonight? Who are you going to match Amy with? Okay, let's see. 75% have voted, so I'm going to close it soon. I give you a few more seconds. This is your chance if you have not chosen. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to end the poll. Okay, so very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the results as well. So almost 50% of you thinks that Ben is the best match for Amy, followed by Ron, followed by Leo. Okay, so for those of you who have chosen Ben, tell us, why would Ben be the best match for Amy? Yep, tell us right now in the chat. Okay, waiting. Okay, Sebastian say masters. Ahmad say because he's handsome. Jit Yong say Ben because he can match her in conversation. Faith say very westernized. Hess say likes reading, more stuff to talk about. Mutiara say because Ben is highly educated from Ivy League. Derek say age. Acer says charming. Jacqueline say handsome. Okay, awesome. A lot of answers. JY say both doing sales and like to read. Evelyn say because he's good looking. Guys, I just want to make it a point here. Yes, of course, good looks is something that we all look out for, but we always tell our clients at the end of the day, when we are matching them, we are not matching them simply for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, we are matching them for a lifelong partner. So we do look beyond the looks, yes. Okay, Belle say Ben worked overseas, head of sales. Raymond says intelligent, charming, well-read, global exposure. Wow, it seems like a lot of people are vouching for Ben here. Geraldine, I think it's your fault because you say you have met him in person and you say he's really good looking. No, just joking. Okay, awesome. So we have about 29% of you who say Ron. Okay, so why Ron? Okay, come. All the Ron supporters, let us know. Okay, Cindy say love arts, similar interests. Nell say Ron because of his success in life, someone that Amy could look up to. Even though Ben is lang zai means good looking. You see this thing comes out a lot. Okay, Abby says seems more mature. Wong says because he's funny. Sonia says has his own business. Helen says healthy living. Okay, so we have our last candidate, Poor Leo, who got the least votes from our participants tonight. So to all those who are supporting Leo, okay, so why Leo? Okay, Makina says, because Amy is looking to settle down with someone she can respect, you know, and he's independent. BCA say because he has some Chinese values in him. Hadrono says same ethnicity. Alfred say Malaysian is more conservative in values, so ethnicity is likely to be important. He's also funny. Sunny say his age, the most matured man, and his job as a specialist. And Natasha say how to answer question mark. Okay. Annie say laughter is the best. Win say loves life. Okay. Thanks, guys. You know, a lot of great answers here. And then now, of course, over to our matchmakers again, who's going to share with us who they have chosen as a match for Amy. Okay, so over to you, Jessie.
Okay, thank you, Violet. So thank you, votes from all of you. So indeed, all the 3 possible matches sounds really good. And in fact, some of them may think that we can match Amy with all these 3 gentlemen. So now you know why being a matchmaker is not so easy, because this is what we do every day. We have so many great profiles, but we really have to dive deep to find the most compatible match for each of them. So for those of Amy who answered that Ben would make the best match, but I'm sorry, but you're wrong, because in paper, Ben may sound like a perfect match. He and Amy share a similar high academic achievement and high flying career, but this is not the most important criteria to Amy. So look at the second possible match for Ron. If you have chosen Ron, you are also wrong indeed, because indeed he does fit into Amy's preference in terms of age and ethnicity, and she's also highly educated and smart, which Amy would definitely respect and look up to. But that's not her main criteria. In fact, food is one of Amy's passion, and Ron being a vegan may not be the best match, as they probably will not be able to go for many food hunting in Amy's favorite restaurants and cafes.
Yes, so actually out of all these 3 profiles, we would match Amy with the third profile, which is Leo. Are you guys surprised? Okay, so let me share with you the reason why. So Amy has actually shared with us during the consultation that she looks up to her father a lot while growing up. And in fact, her dad is the person who influenced her the most in her life. Her dad was a very humorous and principled old school gentleman who was a loving father and husband. And hence, even though she's well traveled and adventurous, she's looking for someone who's stable, down to earth, a solid rock that she can really rely on. So even though Leo doesn't have credentials as impressive as the other 2, he definitely is self-sufficient and independent as well. He used to travel a lot, so he has a good general knowledge and would be able to communicate with Amy. But most importantly, a sense of humor, honesty, and good characters is actually what's most important to her. She does not really care about physical appearance, and she definitely does not like a guy who's flashy or into branded things. And especially after hearing Amy sharing about how she looks up to her father, we know that these qualities are, qualities that her dad has, and it's what she's actually looking for in a partner. And Leo is actually somebody who has all these qualities as well. Also, Leo shares Amy's passion for food. He's also more of the old school type of gentleman as well, which we feel suits Amy better and will be more understanding and accommodating to her busy lifestyle and high-flying career.
Thank you so much, Geraldine and Jessie. And I definitely agree with both of you that Leo is definitely the best match for Amy because of the insights that we have gleaned from our personal profiling session with her. So thank you guys for participating in this. I thought that was very exciting. You know, everybody was really rooting for all their favorites. And as you can see, it's not easy to make the best match. So some of you have said, like Veronica has said, wow, matchmaking is a lot more complicated and nuanced than I thought. Yes, and we also have someone who say, Faith say, I cannot be a matchmaker, fail. Okay, and we have Evelyn who say, oh, so difficult to choose. Jonathan say, wrong again, definitely not a career in matchmaking for me, not so easy. Okay, so I think, you know, like not to be don't be so down, guys. You know, definitely our matchmakers have gone through, I would say, you know, like many months of practice, many months of training to get to where they are today. And in fact, internally, we always have a matchmaking challenge every year as well to, you know, like help our matchmakers to hone their skills, to really learn best practices from each other so that they can become even better in their skills. So one thing that goes into being a matchmaker. So again, for those of you who are still thinking about a potential matchmaking career, so being a matchmaker is a lot of people, you know, like they come to us and they have a checklist or a type in their mind and what they want their matches to be. But in reality, you know, looking for a perfect match on paper is like it's not how we usually go about it, because what we have realized is that a lot of times people come to us with a lot of must have, a lot of like sometimes what we call superficial criteria. So this is where, you know, like we share with them that yes, we understand your superficial your more superficial criteria, or in our mind we'll call that good to have, but more importantly we help them to focus on their significant criteria as well, because ultimately, you know, a key to a long lasting and strong relationship is not so much about the more superficial criteria, which is appearance, looks, or social status, but it's really about values, life goals, as well as characters. And this is actually what makes our matchmaking process different from maybe perhaps online dating, because a lot of times with online dating, it's just taking your criteria, and most of them are usually the most superficial ones. And when it comes to what we do, like I always tell my matchmakers, so, you know, like Jessie and Geraldine, they have heard this many times from me, probably I sound like a broken record. I always tell them that their role is not to be their role is really not to become a waitress, but their role is really to be a matchmaker who is a nutritionist. Because, you know, like we hear about preferences, but at the same time, we do not just take orders. We are actually giving advice. We are also helping to change mindsets as well as expectations, because we are the experts and we know what works. So for singles out there who have actually been successful in finding love with us, they are actually the ones who are open-minded. They are open to our feedback. As well as I would say they have a positive attitude, and they are always looking forward to having a new experience of dating someone and also meeting someone. So it's not so much they go on a date and they are kind of like have this checklist in their head and then like just go on like tick 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 tick. Yeah. So what do you guys think? You know, do you agree? Do you think it is important to keep an open mind when it comes to looking for love? You know, so if you agree, type yes right now. So let's see. Yeah, wow, some of you have already typed in yes. So some of you say yes, for sure, definitely, but some of you say yes, but it's not so easy to do that. Okay, but I think at least, you know, like it's a good starting point if you understand that, you know, it is very important, like what we have just shared here, to have an open mind, to be positive towards the experience, and also to be open for feedback as well. And this is actually where our coaches come in to give feedback, very constructive feedback to our singers, to help them identify their blind spots, to really provide, you know, like good suggestions on how they can do better in their dating journey. So Geraldine and Jessie, you know, like they have been matchmakers for a while now. So I think Geraldine has shared with us just now, she has been a matchmaker for about 1.5 years, coming to two years. And for Jessie, she has actually been a matchmaker for 6 years. So I'm sure they have many interesting stories to share with us. So tonight I've requested for each one of them to share with us the most challenging match that they have ever encountered. So who wants to know more about this? You know, like who would like to hear the most challenging match that both of them actually have? Okay, so we have Liz, we have Hess. Okay, so a lot of you guys want to hear about that. Okay, so Geraldine, perhaps you can start off by telling us your story.
Okay, thanks, Violet. Okay, so let me just share with you my most challenging but memorable match. It was this gentleman who was very particular about his matches, zodiac, year of birth, and age. So, I'm pretty sure some of you are into 八字, like, you only want to date people who are horse, cow, or something like that. So he was exactly like that. By the way, we do not match by horoscope or birth year, but he was very, very, very particular about it. And it kind of posed a problem when it came to matching. However, we had a few discussions with him to find out his main concern and ultimately what is important for him in a relationship and in his future partner. Ultimately, he was looking for a matured and grounded lady, someone who actually enjoys the simple things in life. And at the same point of time, it was very important for the lady to be well groomed and physically attractive as well. So from there, we advised and managed his expectations, and we let him know that zodiac and horoscope is really not a determining factor for this. But very happy to share that we managed to find him a very down-to-earth and gentle lady. And I'm so happy to actually hear that until now, he is still happily attached with this lady. And also, by the way, this lady was initially out of his age preferences as well. He strictly only wanted ladies younger than him, but this lady happened to be a few years older. They are still together, by the way.
Wow, Geraldine, you are an awesome matchmaker. Yes, definitely, it's not always easy to be able to, I would say, manage our clients' expectations, because a lot of times they do come with us with a certain idea in mind of what they are looking for. But I think that's where our matchmakers come in, like Geraldine, like Jessie, where they really dive deep. I think, like both Geraldine and Jessie have talked about this just now, like rather than going on very surface, we dive deep to really find out what's really important to them. And once we get it, and that's the reason why they are able to then share with us, what is really important, and from there we can work with them to find the match that's most suitable for them. And in this case, very interesting, because like what Geraldine has shared, this guy at first he only wants to date ladies who's younger than him, but because Geraldine has managed to find someone who's so close and so compatible with him, he's willing to like widen his age group, and now they're actually happily dating. So well done, Geraldine. Yep. So Jessie, what about you? What's the most challenging and memorable match for you so far in the last 6 years?
One of my challenging profiles would be of this lady who only wanted to meet men who are doctors and lawyers. So she's very particular in meeting she only wants to meet people from this occupation because she wants an accomplished and stable partner. And that's why she only wants to meet people from these two industries, because she wants to settle down 2 to 3 years from now. So I spent the time talking to her and sharing with her that a good lasting relationship does not depend on how stable or what the occupation is. So in fact, the gentlemen in our database are all very stable and accomplished from different industries. So I gave her some examples of men with good characters, lifestyle, and values. And these were the very important factors that we'll be looking out for her if she wants a serious and lasting relationship. So after sharing with her, and she also agreed, and she has actually met a few dates who are not doctors or like lawyers, and she's actually enjoying herself, and all her date feedback is also very positive, and she herself is enjoying the journey to find the right one. And I'm still looking forward to the day when she tells me that she's attached.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessie, for sharing. So,
Thanks,
guys, a quick time. I'm quite surprised. We only have, wow, 13 minutes left. Is that correct? Okay. So don't worry, like we are definitely going to do our best to answer some of the questions that you have sent to us. But so far, I just want to check in with you guys. How are you feeling so far? Have you learned some great tips and ideas from our matchmakers tonight, Geraldine and Jessie? So if you have learned some great tips, tell us yes in the chat box, and also share with us what is the most important thing that you have learned tonight, or what is the one thing that you didn't know before this and you have learned tonight. Yeah, please share with us. So we see a lot of you saying yes, certainly, definitely. Regina say feeling hopeful. Faith say I learned that I suck in choosing matches. Peter say I match both cases right. Aaron say matchmaking is hard. Okay, Cindy says values is more important than any other thing. Yeah, definitely, you're right. Sunny, I think Sunny has a great point here. Sunny say not everyone is perfect. Pat say waitress example, good approach being coach. Andrew say I didn't know matchmaking can be so difficult. Amy says I've learned that values is more important than lifestyle and interest. And Angie says keeping an open mind is really important. Wow, there's some great learnings that you all have shared with us tonight. We are so happy that you have gotten some great tips so far. So we definitely want to get to some of the Q&As that you guys have sent us. So quick one, okay, ladies. So it has to be really fire round because we don't have that much time left and we do have some questions to go through. Okay, so Gigi, this one is for you. What's the fastest time bracket going on dates until a particular client found a perfect match and get married? And also, what's the longest time until a particular client has found a perfect match and get married?
Fastest time. To be honest, from what this was not matched by me, by the way, but the fastest time that I knew of a client, finding a match and getting married, I think it was about 3 months. We only got the news recently. They just got married, I think, during the COVID period and things like that, which we
Oh,
were quite
wow.
shocked. Yeah, we were quite shocked about it. So yeah, that was actually very, very fast because it was really 3 months. In I think maybe the longest time, maybe like a few years, maybe 1 or 2 years or so until they find a perfect match and get married. To be honest, usually it's around there lah.
Yeah. So I agree with Geraldine. So what we have seen actually, usually clients who meet through us, they will date between 18 to 24 months and they'll get married. So that's usually the average. And we do have some 3 months. So the one that Geraldine has just shared. And actually many years ago as well, there was also a couple who got engaged in 3 months. Yeah. And I think, like at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer. But I would say most of the clients who come to us, they are looking to be in a serious relationship. So usually if it goes well, they are comfortable with each other, they usually wouldn't drag longer than 24 months. Okay, so another question that we have here for Jessie. So Jessie, are most of the cases a personality match or a profile match? How to convince the other side when there are no photos? Yeah, so this is a great question because those of you who are our clients, you know that we don't match, we don't show photos when we send out the profile. So they only see each other for the first time when they finally meet in person. Yes, so Jessie, over to you.
So for me, personally, I feel that a personality match is, most cases would be a personality match because I feel that what makes a long-lasting relationship, most importantly, would be personality. So because we do not want to date someone that's good looking and charming and he just looks good, but if your personality clashes, so that will not be a long-lasting relationship. So normally what we tell our clients when they're no photos is because we normally match based on personality, values, and interests. So one of it is personality would be is a match where we do for our clients.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jessie.
Thanks.
And we have another question here, which is, would you look at the database to check if you have a good size of match database before you accept someone as a client? So this is a very good question, and I'll just answer this question. Yes, we do. So when we meet any potential client, be it at our office or right now, we do virtual consultations. Our matchmakers or our sales consultants, dating consultants would go through the database first to ensure that we do have suitable matches for our clients. Because at the end of the day, we do not want to take in clients when we do not already have matches for them. So we don't want to take their money and at the end of the day, not able to provide them with a good match or a good service. So when we meet someone, we'll always check first to see whether we already have some potential matches that could be matched with them. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going through the Q&A box right now very quickly. We do have quite a number of questions here. Okay, so Alice say the matchmaker will select the ultimate one for the client to meet or will be giving 3 profiles to the client to choose. Geraldine, maybe you can answer this one.
Yes, okay. So whether we select 3 or 1, actually we just pick out the one that is most suitable for you and then we send it across to you. So it's not like, you have 3 to choose from. Of course, we will sift it out and pick out the one that is most suitable for you and send that profile across to you. But most importantly, it has to be a two-way match lah. So meaning if you also have to like the profile as well.
Yeah, thank you, Geraldine, for that. Okay, so Jessie, I think Jessie, you have been quite successful in doing this. So we have a question here from Rose. How do you encourage your clients to share their success stories?
How we encourage them is because when they actually found each other, so I'll tell them that since both of you have found each other, I'm sure you like to spread happiness and you also would like to share the happiness with other people who also looking for love like you. So, and I'm sure that when you found somebody that you actually like and also is compatible with, I'm sure you like to spread the happiness to the other people who are still looking for love. So normally they
That's
will agree, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually what happens because a lot of our clients, once they have met someone through us, like Jessie has said, they are very happy and they are really quite happy to share with us their success story. Sometimes, of course, they are a bit shy, so they will write us a testimonial, but they might not share their photos, but usually they would at least write us a testimonial. Yeah. Okay, so this one is for Gigi. So we have a question from Esther. After selecting one profile, what happens if things don't work out?
So definitely after every date, what we always do is we always gather your feedback. So for example, if the date didn't work out, we will gather your feedback from there and then find out from you, okay, so what worked during the date, what didn't work, what did you like, what did you not like? From there, we will actually start refining your matches. So dating is really a constantly refining process sometimes as well. So from there, for example, maybe if she feels his age maybe is a bit too old, we may have a generational gap, we may reduce the age a little bit more, find somebody who is younger, closer to age. So in order to find a match that is closer suited to what you're looking for as well.
Yep. Thank you, Geraldine, for that. We have another question here from Emily. So Emily asks, what is the age range of our female clients? So I would say that our clients, most of them are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. But actually, right now we do have older clients as well. So we really work with our clients on a case-to-case basis. So like just now, one of the questions that was asked, when we meet a potential client, we will firstly check on our database whether there's a suitable match for them. Then like we will see whether it makes sense for us to offer them a membership. Okay, let me see. Any other question? Okay, so another question here. Do you match people locally, like Singapore to Singapore, Hong Kong to Hong Kong? Yes, generally we match locally, Singapore to Singapore, Hong Kong to Hong Kong. But at the same time, we do have some memberships where we do match cross country. But of course, that's also when both of the clients are open to meeting people from different countries. Yeah. So we are 5 minutes away from 10 p.m. and like those of you who are with us, for the last couple of webinars, you know that we start on time and we also end on time. So thank you so much for all your questions tonight. Time flies when you're having fun, and we are coming to the end of our webinar, and I hope all of you have enjoyed getting to know our company a bit better, get to know both our matchmakers tonight, Geraldine and Jessie, a bit better, and of course, how does it feel to be a matchmaker. So I mean, those of you who have done really well, we do look out for new matchmakers here and there. If this is maybe potentially your calling, you can consider coming to join us as a matchmaker. So for those of you who want to know more about matching and how we can actually help you find the love of your life, we are going to offer you something special tonight as participants of tonight's webinar. So all of you who are in tonight's webinar will be entitled to a free dating ebook and also a free dating assessment session as well. So the 2 ebooks that we are giving out for tonight. So for the ladies, we have 5 ways to spot a love scammer. So I know that, like a lot of you, other than maybe going on a dating service like Lunch, actually, you're also using online dating. So, these are some great ways, like our ebooks are all written by our matchmakers and coaches who have a lot of experience. So these are the 5 ways that you can spot a love scammer. And for the guys out there tonight, our ebook for you is the 3 reasons that she doesn't text you back. Okay, so I think again, same thing when we are using online dating or apps. Like often the guys, you'll be sending out a lot of messages, but why is it that the girl that you really want to get to know better, why doesn't she text you back? So if you want to know that, get a copy of this ebook. So how to redeem? You already see it on the screen right now. So like you can just go to the link bit.ly/LA webinar gift, and I believe that Christina will be putting out the link here in the chat box as well. So you just need to fill up your information over there and you'll be able to receive this special gift, and our matchmakers or dating consultants will be contacting you to find out a bit more about your dating challenges through the dating assessment session. So before we go, I also want to share with you that now you can request for all the previous webinars through our website at lunchactually.com/webinar, because I know a lot of you, like some sometimes you're busy at work, or you rush back and then you miss out the first part of it, or you need to rush off to another meeting and you miss out the second part of it. So we want to make it really easy for you to just get a copy of our webinar. So you can just go to lunchactually.com/webinar. You can just fill up the form over there, and then you can also check, and then you can actually choose the recording that you would like, and we'll send the recording to your inbox. So for all of you who would like a recording of tonight's session, all you need to do is just to check the website in the next couple of days, and there will also be a way for you to choose the recording for tonight's session as well. So you don't need to manually email us like in the past, where we will ask you to email us at love@lunchactually.com. And of course, if you have friends whom you think can benefit from the webinars that we are having here, do share with them the link as well, so that they can also request and view the recordings of our past webinars. So we are almost 10. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation tonight. And tonight, I really cannot believe how fast time has passed, because I guess, like you guys say, it's not easy being a matchmaker. So we are glad that we have given you, I would say, maybe short masterclass on how matchmaking can be done. If you have enjoyed today's webinar, do follow us on Facebook, do follow us on Instagram, and of course, do not forget to sign up for our next webinar, which is happening next Thursday. So yeah, the link is there as well. So we really look forward to having more of your energy, like your questions today. It has been really fun. I hope you have enjoyed the great tips and sharing and wisdom that our matchmakers, Geraldine and Jessie, have shared with you tonight. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and good night.